to Discussions with DT Parker. Did you have a good weekend? I hope you did. What up? Twitch is activated. IG is activated. YouTube, appreciate you that run this back. If you haven't already done so. Hi, Major. You're the first one on my Discussions with DT Parker, my podcast. But hey, Major, I see that you're touring, so congratulations and good luck with everything. Hey, Mark. Welcome to Discussions with DT Parker. I was just saying Twitch is active, YouTube. For the folks that run it back, make sure you like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already done so. For the folks that have, thank you for liking, subscribing, and following. Thank you very much. Marco, Joey Cakes, you know me, what to do. Welcome to Discussions with DT Parker. I hope you enjoyed your weekend. You had a great weekend. We're going to get into, We're going to get into this pastor, because he's catching some smoke. I don't know what's going on with our pastors, but he's catching some smoke. His name is Pastor James David Manning. Joey Cakes, I don't know if you might have saw this. He calls out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party, or the Democrat Party, making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. So I'm going to play this audio, and hopefully the language won't get me kicked off of here. But take a listen.
You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed. You have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you?
Oh my.
I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Well, he had a lot to say. Sheesh. Should a pastor be talking like this at church? I mean, it's real talk, but, well, besides what he said about the parties, I'm not even... that's above my pay grade, okay? With these parties and Democratic Party and Republican Party, yeah. We got enough problems to worry about besides. Anyway, but should a pastor be talking like this? Yeah, Mark, I didn't want to play that clip back because, geesh, he had a lot to say. But after hearing what, he said, does he have any valid points? I don't feel like people should be executed for not taking care of their kids, but some form of responsibility should be had for men that walk out on their kids. I'm just saying something that I've been trying, well, not been trying to say, but to me, accountability is everything. And I believe in holding both genders, female and males, accountable for their actions. Anyway, Mama, welcome to Discussions with DT Parker. Talking about Pastor James David Manning. Never heard of him, but he's catching some smoke after calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. And that's the cute, clean version. I'm so scared to play this back because I don't want to get shadow banned, but here we go.
You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Okay, then. Well, you heard old Pastor James David Manning. You heard what he said. Oh, and he had a lot of words to say. I'm just saying, what church is this? I didn't know pastors could talk like this in church. Even though I get the message is not received because I don't believe what he's talking about. Besides the part, not the execution part, but definitely men being held accountable that walk away from their children. But yeah, I didn't know pastors. Oof, the mouth. It should he be talking like that? And what are your thoughts on what he said? You know, does he have any valid points? Do you believe he has any valid points? Like I said, it was a lot. He got a mouth on him. Child, I need to know what church. I'm trying to look in these comments and see what church this is. Cause, baby. Yeah. Mama said, Jesus said love is the greatest gift. Hey, Randstand art, not hate. But after listening, to what he says, do you know, what do you feel about what he said? Cause he did say, hey, CO Smokehouse, he did say that the Democratic Party, and he specifically said the Democrat Party is making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Welcome new folks to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. I don't know if you saw this video floating around, but this pastor, his name is Pastor James David Manning, is calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. For the new folks, I'll play this audio back for the new folks, and sensitive material today, so if you're sensitive, please.
Have a man, and for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children ought to be executed. You have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's right. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet.
Mama.
The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. What the hell's wrong with you?
Okay.
I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Okay, I don't know what church this is that the good Pastor James David Manning preaches at, but I'm just saying, should a pastor be even talking like this? I'm just saying, hey, Fleego One, should he even be speaking like this? Okay, I figured he's the mayor, okay? That's the new mayor that you guys got. Mama said he's doing good things for New York City. He must live in New York, LOL. I'm not 100% sure where this man's church is, but clear he must live close. Yeah, he must live close in proximity to this New York mayor, because he seemed definitely 38 hot about the fact that he was even placed into office. But After hearing what he said, what are your thoughts? My thoughts are, why is a pastor even talking like this? Joey Cake said he has been against anything black. He tries to set us all in a box. He can say what he wants. It only matters if you believe it. So, Joey, you're familiar with this Pastor James David Manning? Because I'm not familiar with this man. This is my first time ever seeing a video circulating, and it's a video circulating because of what he's trying to say about the Democratic Party making itches out of women and peas out of our men. So, like I said, this is my first rodeo with this pastor, but geesh, I don't think, listen, I'm one to judge, okay? Let me be the first. Cause baby, I am not without sin, but the way he talking, yeah, I don't know, okay. Mama said he is not a Democrat. This pastor man is not a Democrat. Well, clearly he said that what he said. Mama said he sounds like an old fool. But then, because if F.A. gets on here today, he'll probably agree with this man. And I don't want to put words into F.A.'s mouth, but he would probably 100% agree with this man. Along with another one of our regulars, Clean, would 100% agree with this man and what he's probably saying. Mandati is a liberal. Oh, he's not even a Democrat. Oh, that's what you're trying to say. That the mayor of New York is not a Democrat. He's a liberal. Okay, I didn't know what he was. Am I lagging, y'all? I feel like I'm lagging. Okay, like it's just certain instances I feel like I'm lagging. Only part I don't agree with the execution part. I definitely agree with the holding accountable of the walking away, but I've been preaching that of the walking away of the children. I don't think execution, because that's harsh. You know what I'm saying? But definitely there should be some consequences. Even if, I'm sorry, you didn't want that kid, you know what I'm saying, and you choose to walk away, I believe there should be consequences. Even though I guess some men will be like, there are consequences. It's called child support. But some of y'all are not on child support. Some women will take full responsibility of the child, won't get a dime, don't go after child support and raise that child. While you go live a completely, different life somewhere, maybe in another city with a new woman. You see what I'm saying? And it's solely on that woman to raise that child. I do think, if you walk away from your kid and you decide you don't want to be a dad, because I don't want to be there because I told her I didn't want any kids, but then the baby's here and I think you should be held liable. But anyway, new folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. Talking about Pastor James David Manning. If you're familiar with this pastor, hey chef, he's calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. The sermon that is now catching some smoke. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Take a listen to what he said.
A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting, anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him.
Well,
the hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I'm tired. I've had enough of it.
All right, well, you heard the gist of what he had to say. Joey Cake said, I've seen him on several times online. He attacks anything that empowers black people, but he himself is an empowered black man. Oof, okay. Joe, you're going to have to send me some of his other stuff. I'm curious now, because like I said, I've never seen this man before. I haven't seen this man until now. Whoa, because he's catching this smoke, this backlash for saying that. Mama said Malcolm X was a Muslim. What's his point? I don't know listen, I don't live in New York anymore, even though big shout out to the Knicks. Let's go Knicks, New York. I got my New York City shirt on today. How coincidental. But, I mean, I don't live in New York. I live in Georgia now, so I'm not familiar with the mayor and liberal, Mama said he's doing good things for New York. And I know that FA, again, I don't like to put words in people's mouths. I like for folks to speak for themselves. But I know FA had said that he said something about him. I don't think that was in a positive light. But again, when FA comes on here, I'll let FA speak for himself if he comes on here today. Joey Cake said, it's amazing that no matter how insane someone is, they can find other fools to follow them. As everyone is looking for a hero, I guess. Did you hear how those people were saying amen in the background, Joey? Because I was just like, they agree with this fool? Baby! They agree with this man? Joey, you ain't lying. It is quite amazing how people are very easily manipulated into thinking things. Mama said right to you, Joey Cakes. I'd be amazed at them people that be in them cults, that be following them leaders blindly. I wish I might. Or whatever. I think I saw, me, Investigation Discovery go together real bad. But I was watching something, and it was a black cult too. And they had moved from New York City to somewhere out here in Georgia, in one of these rural counties in Georgia, and did a whole damn synagogue. Was a black guy too. And he was, graping, and SAing the babies. And I know it was one girl who had escaped from the cult. Her mom had joined when she was young. And then again, like I said, they were living in New York City. Then his cult started to grow, and then they moved to Georgia, where they built this whole pyramid synagogue. I forgot where it was. I feel like I want to say Eatonton, but I don't know if that's the right place. But then he moved all his followers there, and they followed him. And then he started graping, and the girl, and she ran away. She tried to tell her mother, and her mother, of course, didn't do anything about it. But it was just amazing how many, people he had, watching over and knowing that he was doing these things and still protecting him. But anyway, new folks, discussions with Dee Parker. I don't know if my phone is moving. I'm sorry, y'all, because it may be hot, and that might be what it is. Because I feel like I'm like it's a delay. But it might not be, like it comes. Okay, there it goes. Because it comes and it goes. I just picked my phone up, so it might have been hot on the computer. Anyway, new folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Parker. We're talking about Pastor James David Manning. He calls out the Democratic Party during a sermon. Said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. I'll play the audio back in a second as we get some more folks rolling in. But, first of all, in his language, as a pastor, once I play the audio, new folks, I got questions for you. Should a pastor even be, speaking like this on the pulpit? Ain't he supposed to be leading his flock? I'm just saying, I don't know. Mama said, no disrespect. There are people who follow Jesus and are the biggest devils. Well, clock it, mama, because you not near one lie told. Not near one lie told. I was feeling that way on Friday. I'm like, all these good people over here, all the good people are over here suffering, struggling, while these evil and wicked people are prospering. Why is it backwards? But I guess it ain't for me to understand, because I was like, evil just seems like they winning right now. Meanwhile, us good folks is out here struggling, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, like Pac said. Hard to pay the rent. I'm just saying. So, I don't know. Again, who am I? I just think the language, should a pastor even be on the pulpit preaching and talking like that to his congregation? And the things that are being said, you know what I'm saying? But you know what, Mama, to go back to your point, I mean, didn't they use the Bible to keep us in line? Back, I don't want to keep bringing it back to slavery, but didn't they use the Bible to keep the slaves in line? Didn't they try to say it was the Lord's work? Why? You should be a good slave. I'm just saying. So, but new folks, if I have any, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We're talking about Pastor James David Manning. He's calling out the Democratic Party. During his sermon, he said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. It just seems like they never go against them. I don't know who tweeted me on Twitch, but I appreciate you, because I cannot, for whatever reason, see the live stream. So my apologies. Hey, Janice. We're talking about a pastor. His name is Pastor James David Manning, calling out the Democratic Party on Twitch. Again, I can't see you. I can't see. For whatever reason, it's not letting me see my chats. So let me try to see now. When I refresh it, it acts crazy. So I apologize, Twitch, if you're trying to tweet and join in on the conversation. That's my apologies. But anyway, let me play this clip from the pastor so you can, for the new folks, hear exactly what he is talking about.
I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Okay, let's go back.
Sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children ought to be executed. You have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No, dude. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came out on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about they got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. And Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him, and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
All right. Well, like I said, he had some very choice words. I don't agree with probably 95% of this. I would say I agree with 98%, maybe 99%. Only part I agree with is holding the men that do not take care of their children responsible for, walking out on the children. I don't think execution is the answer. I think that's a little extreme, because, are we going to be out here executing? Hey, Nick, I need to call you today, see when we got this thing going. I think it's June, right, for this, but I'll call you after my live. Yeah, I think he is a little bit extreme with the, but I do believe that men that do walk away from their children should be held accountable. This is if you watch Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. I am definitely an advocate of holding both. Yeah, he's very the mouth. Mama said and T's and B's. Oh wow, yeah. His mouth is very vulgar. That's why I'm like, should a pastor be preaching a sermon like this? I mean, I guess that's where Epic, again, I won't speak for him because he's not on here, where he be trying to come in and be like, look, the message might not be, pretty and cute and lovey. Sometimes the message has to be delivered in a certain way, but jeesh, he is a pastor. He's supposed to be leading his flock, but the flock don't seem like they have too much. It just seems, I don't know if I would follow a man that you supposed to be, I don't know. Even though he is a man too at the end of the day, these pastors, because I know some folks like to put them on pedestals, but to me, I'm like, well, you still a man, you still bleed, you still do everything that I do, so what makes you any different than I do? I feel like I, had a relationship with God. What make you any different? The way you could go, I could go to him too. But I get it. For all of you, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking anything, you know what I'm saying? But all I'm saying is, I don't know if I would be able to follow a man that talk like that. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, but new folks, what are your thoughts on this pastor, Pastor James David Manning? Did he have any points? Do you feel like he had any points to what he was saying? I know two people who would probably be in agreement with him and would turn this whole conversation over. Because most of you on here today are not, I'm assuming. Hey, Harlem Nights. Most of y'all are on here today are not in agreement with what this man is saying. Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. I feel like I am lagging. This video I keep playing. That's why I'm not trying to play it too much, but it already is too late. But anyway, we've been talking about Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party. During a sermon, he said, I am tired of the Democratic Party making B's out of our women and P's out of our men. I'll play it back.
Sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough.
Okay, well, that's what Pastor James David Manning got on pulpit and preached. I don't know how many Sundays ago, but I saw this on social media and thought this would be an interesting conversation. Because one, should a pastor even be talking like this? And two, did he have any valid points? And I got two people I know for sure who probably would be in agreement to what he is saying. Mama said, how you say that one of the commandments is thou shalt not. Right. And that was the thing. I said, well, I agree with the holding the men accountable, but execution is that's a bit much. I don't believe that they should be, you know what I'm saying, executed. But then, again, not going to speak for F. If he comes on here, I'll let him speak for himself, because he did say that men that don't take care of their kids, he feels like something should happen. But I just think they should be held accountable. I think you should be held accountable for your actions. You shouldn't, I don't feel like men should be able to go unscathed, And then some men will be like, oh, well, we don't because we pay child support. But every man is not on child support. Every woman doesn't put a man on child support. You have some women that feel like, hey, I'll shoulder the responsibility. You ain't got to have nothing to do with it. I'll do it. I'll do it all. And don't ask the man for a dime. Meanwhile, this man might move to another state, in another state, living his best life with a new family or a new girlfriend. And this mom is over here to take care of a kid by herself because you felt like walking away and not being a father. So that part I agree with, not the execution part. Absolutely not. And I don't know about, I don't agree with this Democratic Party making bees out of, because how did a party make bees out of us, women, or peas out of the men? How? You know what I'm saying? This thing, and anything going on, that LGBTQ thing, that's been going on way before the Democratic Party, trust and believe, okay? Back when they was bucking slaves. Again, I don't want to take that back to slavery because, back when they was bucking slaves, this thing's been going on. So, to blame a party is crazy. Anyway, so what are your thoughts, new folks? Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. Pastor James David Manning calls out the Democratic Party during a sermon. Said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women. Well, he has some other things to say, too. And peas out of our women. I'm saying bees out of our women and peas out of our men. And that was just one of the many things that he had to say because he had a lot of choice words. Hey, Healing Heart Ministries. Welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this pastor. It is so crazy because this email don't blame no time until I get on this live and him doom. I'm like, come on now. Anyway, new folks, we've been talking and discussing, and I'll play the audio back too. Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Take a listen.
Enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No, dude. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim, and niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim, and Jesus is Lord, and I'm voting for him, and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
All right, so after hearing that, what are your thoughts on the good Pastor James David Manning? Twitch, I apologize because I can't get to y'all comments because I don't know what is going on here and why my chat is not working today. But I appreciate you watching. For the folks on Twitch, my apologies. IG, y'all quiet. Everybody's been quiet besides Joey Cakes and Mama. What's going on today? What are we feeling? How are we feeling about this pastor? Should a pastor even be speaking like this? And did he have any valid points in what he was saying? Again, The only point that I agreed with, like I said, was the men being accountable for, walking away from their kids. I believe they should be held accountable, but not execution, because that's a little bit too steep. That's a little bit too deep. You know what I'm saying? And as Mama said, how you going to say that one of the commandments is thou should not kill, and then you believe in executing a father if he doesn't take care of his kid? So I'm with you, Mama. That is definitely a weird behavior. But what about what he said about the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men? What are our thoughts and feelings on that? Do we feel like he has any valid points? How are we feeling? I don't know. It's so easy to blame one another, and it's a lot of blame going on because who's in office and how the economy is moving. And Mama did bring up a good point, because I don't ever hear, when I do hear these people say something, I don't hear anything they feel is going wrong with the Republican Party. And we know that's probably far from, the truth. We could sit here all day, but I don't know. I don't think this pastor should be talking like this on the pulpit. Talk about T's and B's. You know what I'm saying? I'm wondering if there's any children in this, where the children at? Cause is you preaching like this in front of the babies? This, I guess you don't got. This is what you saying in front of the babies? It's a lot. Like I said, it's so easy to blame, and it seems like the Democratic Party catches the blame for everything. So, Harlem Night said the parties actually switched back in history. Right, because, how did it go, Harlem? I remember the story, but I really don't remember the story. Because it used to be the Democratic Party wasn't the good party, right? And the Republican Party was the good, again. That's above, yeah. I know the history, but I don't know the history. But I do remember it. The Republican Party was, I think, the party for the people. I think that's how that went. And the Democratic, again, that might have been the day that I missed the social studies. That I didn't pay attention in government, whatever the class was that we had to take back then when we learned about all this stuff. But, what are your thoughts on this pastor, James David Manning? Harlem Night said, right, I favor neither party, but yes. Is that how that went? Okay. I thought it was. I wasn't 100% sure. I don't know. Listen, I'm for the party that's going to do what they need to do for the people. That's how I feel about that situation. Right now, who's leading? Prices is high, groceries is high, gas is high. I mean, I just had to get a damn tire on yesterday because my damn tire got a nail in it. So I paid $180 for one damn tire. One tire. I remember, back in the 90s paying maybe for 2 or 3 tires, maybe $180. So everything is high. So I can't say that they're doing a better job than the folks that was just in office. I'm just going to be honest with you. Harlem Night said they said it held back advancement on society. What? Back in the day, the Republican Party held back advancement on society? Again, I remember the details on that, but I don't remember all the details on that. Because that might have been the day that I wasn't paying attention. But I do remember reading somewhere that they had, it used to be switched, reversed, that the Republican Party was for the people and it was Democrats, I believe, was for the rich and the wealthy And then, yeah, now it's switched. Okay. All right, Harlan. Yeah, because that part I'm confused with. When it comes to, I know they switched, but then I don't if I'm saying it correctly, I believe the Republican Party used to be for the people and the Democratic Party was for the rich. I believe that's how it goes. But then y'all can educate me because you probably know a little bit better than me. Wasn't really into U.S. history like that. Especially when we, had to learn about what they did. Yeah, anyway, new folks, welcome. Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We've been chatting about this Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children ought to be executed. You have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
Okay, I agree with that part. A man needs to stand up and be a man. Those are words that I can agree with. Everything else in this thing, chill, should this man be really, and again, I want to know, was there any kids in this congregation? Because what in the what? Unless, these people are just like, that's how the pastor get down. That's how the pastor talk. So the pastor gonna be the pastor. We gonna let him do what he do. But should he be talking like that, though? As a pastor? I don't know. Leading your flock. Saying women... What did he say? Oh,
sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise children with tits. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take...
Anyway, that's a whole nother story. Harlem Knight said, okay, Dems wanted slavery. It gave them what they needed to control classes. Republicans under Abraham Lincoln wanted free slaves. Okay. Yeah. That's how that went. Okay. I told you, don't give me the line. That might have been the day that I missed in social studies. That's what it was, right? Social studies, where we learned about U.S. history. So the Dems wanted the slavery, and now the Dems are for the people, and the Republicans are for the wealthy and the rich. And they basically want to put us back into... I didn't say it. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just going by what the things that I see. From what I see, it's seeming like it. They trying to take everything away that they can. Voting rights is the first thing they trying to take. Then what? Well, then what will be next? But I thought this would be interesting to cover because, again, should a pastor be talking like this to his congregation? And did he have any valid points about the Democratic Party? Are they making bees out of our women and peas out of our men? I just have a question, though. I'm curious on how and why he feels like a party is making bees out of women and peas out of men. Why are we blaming a particular party instead of blaming the people right in front of us? We always like to point fingers. I'm just saying, I don't feel like any party is to blame for society and what they do and how they feel and how they move. I believe that's solely on people. But I know some people would probably disagree. And they may feel like, hey, the Democratic Party is doing these things. But again, the question I have for the folks that do feel like this, and please, from especially my folks on YouTube that play this back, I do read y'all comments. Why do you feel that the Democratic Party is making B's out of our women and P's out of our men? And please don't give me, I don't want to hear anything about, because you feel like they've done all this stuff with the LGBTQ movement. I don't want to hear none of that, okay? Because, baby, this thing with the LGBTQ has been going on since they was bucking slaves back in the day. So let's not even, okay? I really want to say, I wish I could say what I really want to say, because I really feel like it was them that did that to our men. But that's another story for another day. I really do. I believe it was them that made our men into that. But you have the right to be whoever you want to be. It's none of my business. I mind my business. But I do feel like if we're going to blame anybody, can we go back? And I know some of y'all going to be like, oh, here they go bringing up slavery again. But it did. I mean, slavery is where that, because I ain't hear of no bucking going on in Africa. And it might have been going on in Africa, but I never heard of none of the African kings bucking they men. I'm just saying. Just making observations. You feel how you want to feel. I feel like that was the thing when they came over here and they started doing that to our men. I'm just saying what I'm saying. Okay. New folks, welcome. Discussions with D.T. Parker. I apologize for the folks that have been rocking. We've been chatting about Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party. Now, Joey Cake said he's familiar with this pastor. Said he preaches everything to denounce black power, but preaches black power. So I'm a little confused, because if you're opposed to black power, how you gonna preach it, my man? I'm just saying. But he did a sermon where he basically called out the Democratic Party, said that they were making B's out of our women and P's out of our men. He had some other things to say, that women can't raise children and men that walk away from their children should be executed. I don't believe in that. But I do believe that men that do walk away from their children, there should be some accountability. And miss me, because some of y'all are not on child support. So let's be 100% honest. Some women don't put y'all on child support, and then you get to you get to walk away scot-free, clear. Don't have to be in the child's life while this woman is stuck. I won't say stuck, but she's the one responsible for raising the child without any assistance from you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I just think those, and even if you didn't want the child, not nobody's problem but your problem, because you should have thought about that before you lay down and made that baby. You know what I'm saying? I know we get on here all the time talking about it, but, just because you, like Mama said, just because you say you don't want a child, and you can tell a woman all day you don't want the child, but it's up to you. It's both of y'all responsibilities to make sure that doesn't happen. It's both on the woman and it's both on the man. To make it solely a woman's responsibility, like, oh no, well, I told you I didn't want a child. Okay, but did you do what you were supposed to do as a man to make sure you didn't come up with a child? So I don't believe in pointing one finger at another gender and then pointing. We're not doing that. I believe in equal accountability, men and women. So both parties are equally responsible. If you don't want a baby, neither one of you, and especially men, if you're sitting there telling a woman you don't want a baby, then it's your responsibility to make sure you take the proper precautions so that a child is not made. And it isn't fair that you get to walk away while she has to raise the child. So I believe that, yes, there should be some sort of accountability, maybe even some jail time. I'm just saying. For those that decide that they don't want to be fathers, but you sat there and you made that baby and you fathered that child. You know what I'm saying? Again, execution, what he was talking about, absolutely not. That's extreme. You know, but then some of you might say, yeah, nah. They was man enough to make the baby and they didn't want to take care of the baby, then nah. They need to suffer the consequences and the wrath of their decisions. But I don't think, again, execution to me seems a little bit extreme. I would definitely say maybe some jail time. If you decide you want to walk away, maybe you should go to jail. Maybe you should go sit down somewhere. Since you want to walk away from your responsibilities. But this Democratic stuff, I don't believe a party can make anything. You know what I'm saying? I believe, that's society. I don't believe the Democratic Party did anything to make our women bees. How? And I don't want to hear about the feminist movement, because I know that's what is going to be thrown out there. Oh, the feminist movement. Oh, when y'all got the right to vote. Oh, when y'all wanted equality and equal rights. Or I don't want to hear anything about the LGBTQ. I don't want to hear that neither. That the Democratic Party was the one. Because how? That's what I'm going to ask. How? That's what I need answers to. How are they responsible? How? That's where I'm curious. Question mark comes in. How? How can you make them responsible for that? So, And should this pastor even be talking like that? You leading the congregation. But this is why I don't put too much stock in these pastors. Because at the end of the day, they're human beings just like we is. You know what I'm saying? They bleed just like us. They just like us. You know. Like you could go talk to God. I could go talk to God too. Because... Hey, clean. You know what happens is when we put these pastors and we put them on high pedestals, we get disappointed. And then when stuff comes out, oh, this pastor was cheating. Oh, this pastor was doing this. Oh, this pastor was stealing. Then y'all want to be like, oh my God, no. If you're still on here, we've been chatting about Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party.
Hey, my love.
Hey, Harlem, are you up now,
Girl,
girl?
I am up, honey. I am up, girl. I'm up.
Well, good to have you on. Did you hear what this crazy man said?
I did. Okay, so what I was saying, I'm sorry, I was on the phone child with mortgage people and doing the most. Um, but no, what I was saying was I love history. I love everything history. you know, I try to stay out of the government stuff because I don't want to choose a side because I think they both are full of crap.
Hey, Evan.
Honestly, I feel like both of them are full of crap, so I don't get into the
Democratic or
political stuff.
Republican?
Yeah, I try to stay out
Okay.
of the political stuff. I try my best. I make my decisions.
Can't hear you, Tan.
But what I was saying was, so basically, what he's saying, like
I
his
say you're welcome to come on.
what his him saying that people need to be executed. Now it seems like he trying to go viral. It sounds like he just saying some stuff to
Hey,
shock
Evan.
the audience. Hey, FA. It sounds like he's saying some stuff to shock the audience, to, you know what I'm saying, to get views, to get somebody to record it, just for the sensationalism of the topic or
Hold
whatever.
on.
But to go back to what I was saying about history, the parties did switch. So you had followers of Abraham Lincoln, and Abe Lincoln wanted to end slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you had followers of Abe Lincoln that was like, yo, slavery is really holding us back. We really could be using these people doing, a different way. So they was for the advancement of society, and for them that meant to eliminate slavery. Whereas the Democrats, um, basically, I'm sorry. Whereas the Democrats basically were saying, we need to keep these people as slaves. And since they lost the ability since slavery ended, that's when they decided to create these programs like food stamps, Section 8 housing, and things like that. Because what that did was that created classes of people, and it creates a way for people to stay in their place, so to speak.
Okay.
So if like say for instance, if you in a certain, you have to be under a certain income level in order to, or your household has to have this many people, or you have to be lacking this in order to receive that. And then you ended up with people who got on those programs and stayed on those programs when those programs were supposedly, you see my two fingers, supposedly
Yeah.
meant to be a stepping stone to get you from one area in your life to the next area in your life. You got people who got lazy, they got complacent. Oh, they gonna hand me this money, I don't have to work. As long as I, am a single parent home. And a lot of people say, well, you can't have a man in the house and get these benefits. That's not necessarily true. You can, you just have to be under income. The problem is most two-parent households do not qualify to be on those programs. That's why
Mm.
it's implied or it's indirect systematic classism.
Racist.
Yeah,
Okay.
racist classism.
Uh-huh.
And we kind of fell for it because we got to feed these kids. You know, daddy ain't always coming around, or mama disappeared, whichever parent decided to lack for whatever the case may be. um and so it makes it look like, oh well, you can't have a man if you own this. Isn't That's not the case. You can, you just, your income. But what he's saying is just, the way he's saying it is stupid. Yes,
Hold
men
on,
should.
Harlem. Because I don't think FA heard what we were talking about. So I want to play it back before we get into that. So, Pastor James David Manning, are you familiar with him, FA? He calls out the Democratic Party during a sermon. He said, "I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men." Take a listen to what he had to say, and I'm gonna play it back because we do got some new folks. So here we go.
Sick. A woman can't raise children. You can't raise kids. You got to have balls. You got to have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children or to be executed, you have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No, dude. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is that when that boy Mondami came out on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting, anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him.
He sound
What the
emotional.
hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough
Emotion.
of it. I've had enough of it. A man needs to stand up and be a man.
All right,
A
FA,
woman
you done
can't.
heard him. And Harlem
Yeah.
Heights. Now, what were you gonna say, Harlem? And then we'll go to you, FA. I got you.
I was just saying what he's saying. Like, yes, people need to stand up and raise their children. Like a community, we need to stand up and be responsible for our kids. Not, I don't. I'm not gonna sit here and say a woman can't raise a child. Cause hell, what the hell we been doing? I mean, I'm not
Right.
saying society is flawed because a lot of people come from single parent homes, but it's a lot of success stories come out of single parent homes as well. So are we just going to sit here and say that every woman that raised a child was a failure because she didn't have a man? No, you take the resources that you have access to and you use them and you do the best you can with your kids, with what you got to work with. And I'm being somebody who raised kids. I wasn't single all the time, but when I was, hell, I did what I had to do. I taught my kids, hey, this is how we living. This is what we
Mm-hmm.
need. This is what I need you to be able to do. So you take the resources you have and you make the best out of whatever situation you've been handed. We can't be sitting up here crying and whining because somebody decided not to stand in they position. And he sounds like he's mad. Like he sounds extremely angry. It just sounds
Uh,
really sensationalized.
the way that he was talking, whew, Fa.
I'm like, it don't
Whew.
take all that.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Fa?
Man, I agree with him. I hear the passion in his voice. I mean, clearly the emotion is there, but I see it because he's passionate about the topic. It's not emotion in the sense where he is being delusional or not being intelligent in his ability to articulate his position. He's more or less is like fed up. Like he's fed up. It's more of him believing he sees the destruction of what is happening from whatever the Democratic Party is spewing out on our community, and he's seeing it, and now he's like worked up and frustrated about it. So, yeah, I do see the emotion, but I see it as more of a just passion and fed up. I understood what he meant by when he said women can't raise children. He wasn't literally they can't raise children. He was measuring the outcome of how children fare being raised by women alone, and it's destructive to the community, society, because women don't have the ability to be stringent enough. They're not designed. It's not actually not being said to like beat up on women. It's more said to say you guys are not built to perform this duty and in a way where it's effective when you minus a man, right? Success stories don't just because you have a few success stories don't overshadow the millions of non-success stories. You see what I'm saying? It's like to me, it's so ridiculous to say stuff like that. Like, well, LeBron James made it. Look at him, and he was raised from a single mother, and it's like, yeah, for every one LeBron James, I can name 100,000 that's in the prison system right now. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's almost negligent to even say stuff like that. But I see so make sure I provide the clarity on the woman part with raising the children. Women provide an essential need to children. They provide emotional stability, they provide love, they provide reassurance when it's a young child, right? And it's needed, right? The problem is when you lack the balance, it then becomes a toxic. It's what you call quibbling children. You can quibble them, right? Because mommy is what they call mama bear. You know how mama bears protect their cubs at all risk? You know, when a child falls, mommy runs to pick them up. It's instinctive for them to do these things because they have a mama bear loving, protecting, nurturing nature. The problem is that
Mm-hmm.
becomes counterproductive when the child gets older
Yeah.
because they have to be forced. Fathers say no, leave him alone, and because fathers usually in a what I call a properly functioning home usually will have authority over his wife, he could say no, don't go over there. Don't say nothing to that boy. Don't say nothing to that little girl. Let her figure it out. So what it would do is it would kind of hone in on the woman's natural nature to want to come and protect and jump in. But you got a man that say no. Let him figure it out. Leave him alone. Stop. Woody, because there is a aspect that you see. You got axers. I see so many grown men that ask, but they don't do first. You know what I mean? They just ask, and it's because they mama fed them all the time. You just go ask mommy, and mommy gonna do it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But mommy finally get fed up later, but it'll be too late by then
Yeah.
because the beast has already been established. You know what I mean? That weak nature in that man or that woman or whatever. So the conversation, I want to be clear, it's not to beat up on the women. I just understood that what women lack and what they bring to being a parent, what they provide is a great necessity and is needed, but it's also comes counterproductive later if there is no opposite balance. Now that loving nature makes it, look up quibbling. You actually quibble the children. You make them. You enable them. They actually don't go out and become self-sufficient because a lot of and just in general, children don't respect mommy the same way because they don't fear them enough. You know what I mean? So when your mommy tell you that, when mommy, I mean that may be your house, but we talking about women, not you. But listen, and mommy, and when a boy is 13 He's not afraid of you. I know you think you badass, right? But I'm telling you, it's a bunch of 13-year-olds that will do bad things to you. You see what I'm saying? That you
Let,
can't
let,
handle. And they
I got a
and every
question.
little boy,
I
hold
got a
on, let me
question for
finish.
you.
I know, hold on. Every young boy knows, every man knows how it was to be when he was 13 or 14. He stopped feeling himself and he's not listening to mommy. He's not afraid of mommy no more. You see what I'm saying? So he's going to challenge mommy and so on and so forth. And because he's not afraid, he is less likely to listen. This is where that balance of a father comes in and instills fear and makes him remind him who he is and what he's not supposed to be doing and so on and so forth. That's it.
Fear is not. Let me say this before I ask my question. Fear is not the only thing that will make you listen and follow instructions. Fear is a
Said
tactic
that.
used to control people. Fear is a tactic used to control people, and it's not always needed. Just to put that out there, number one. But my question for you is: did you grow up in a house with two parents?
No,
So who were you raised by? Your mom or your dad?
I'm not.
Was your mother easy? Like, did she fall for everything that you said? Was she get
All
there? Did
for
she?
everything.
Yeah,
No,
like.
my mother was very different from modern day women.
Okay, so that's my point.
No,
Hold
no, no,
on,
listen. No, no, listen. My mother would never say fear is a tactic to control people.
it
See, that's not
is.
even, I'm not saying it isn't. That's your
It
opinion.
is.
That's fine. What I'm saying is that's not even a thing she would say. My mother would say, no, fear is necessary and needed. See, she's not a average, typical woman that looks at fear and says this is a bad thing or this is not always a good thing. She would say, no, this is something that was needed. So I don't,
Okay,
the reason
let me
why I don't
say
like
this.
bringing up my personal situation is because
Let me
it's
say this.
easy for me to be able to say, "Oh, my mother is not like everybody else's mama,"
But
right?
okay,
You know what I'm
listen
saying?
to what I'm saying. Listen to this. Your typical black mother growing up in urban communities, we're not soft, sweetie. There was no woman in my family. If
I
you look
disagree.
back at the lineage of the women in my family, none of us
Right.
were soft. We didn't get we didn't get nurturing. We got our asses beat. Okay. My mama was outside with her
What is
shoe.
that? What does that
My,
mean?
my mama was out. You're describing women as not having the power to have authority over a child to tell a child no, and you're saying that women are the reason for children being weak or children not being able to withstand. That's what I'm hearing coming from you.
Yeah, for sure.
When a man says it, yes, that's true. When a man is there, a child
So
is
hold
gonna.
on. Is it true or is
Hold
it not
on, let me
true?
finish. When a man is there, let me finish the statement,
I got you.
because you have a way of casting out everything somebody says as like only your truth is the truth, and
I don't believe in your truth.
you're generalizing a whole
I know.
bunch
Get
of
back on.
women
I'm
that you've
quiet. Let's
never
get back
even
on the
met.
point. Fair enough.
You've never even raised a child as a single parent. You're not a single mother, so you cannot
I
speak for
never
single
raised a
mothers.
child as a single parent.
You're not a single. Are you a single mother?
Or you say single parent, but good. I
No,
get what you're trying to
but
say.
are you because you speak for single mothers like you're a
Right.
single mother raising a child.
But does that
You
I'm
mean
a
I don't
speak
have
single
to be?
parent.
I don't have to
you
be a
s-
single
but
mother
you
to
speak
speak
on
on it.
behalf. You don't speak.
But a princess.
I keep correcting you and saying
Right.
parent. You keep saying mother.
I'm a
Every
Right. I'm
single
time you
talking
parent.
speak
about mothers.
every time you speak about mothers, you say
Right.
single mothers as if
Right.
single mothers are the problem.
It
When
is.
I say
They
single
are.
parent, hold on. When I say single parent, I'm correcting you because single mothers are not the only issue. There are fathers. I
No,
know a lot of
absolutely.
fathers raising their children by themselves, and you fail to accept that every story does not fit your little societal truth. All women are
And
not
you
out here
gotta remember
soft,
that the context of the conversation was the man saying women can't raise children.
and
So
he's
I just
wrong.
hold on, no,
Well,
no, no. Forget that.
he
I'm
also
staying
did
He's
on
say,
wrong.
topic. I'm just staying
but
on
I said he
topic
also did say that men that walk away from their children should be
to be
executed. Do you
executed.
believe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
do
think
you
that
believe in that part?
I don't think they should be executed, but I think I agree with his sentiment. Right, what he's trying to say is, just like I've said in the past, men that don't take care of their children are cowards. I've said that 100 times over and over again. Right, so I agree with his sentiment. right? He is being, passionate and being a little extreme and exaggerating. I don't know him, but I don't think he's being literal. You know what I mean? But yes, I agree with his sentiment. Men that don't take care of their children, no matter how these children, I don't say no matter how, but in most cases, if they lay down with a girl, whether they wanted it or not, they should take care of their children. Period. I've always stood in that.
I feel
But
like
that's not
if a
the
man was
conversation
there,
Okay.
that was said.
if a man was there
Conversation
and a
was
baby was
a woman
created, they
can't
both are
raise kids.
responsible equally. They both are. If a man was there, the woman was there when the child was created.
I
Both
disagree with that.
individuals are bothly equally responsible for that child. If we
I
both
disagree.
came together and created this child, I'm responsible for this child just as much as you're responsible for this child.
I agree with that as long as we
That's
one
that's
life.
that's just what that is. And anybody
I
who
agree
gets
as
Hold
up
long
and
as we
walk
one
away
life.
from their child is
A coward.
that's deplorable. Yeah, why
Yeah, I
would you
agree
do
with
that?
that. Agree
That's
with that.
low kicking. But
Yeah.
to say that
hold on,
women
y'all.
can't
We got
raise
some
children,
hold
that's
on. We got a comment. Joey Cake said, yeah, right. My mom would punch you dead in the throat.
listen.
Uh Joey Cake said, I had a healthy fear of both of my parents. They worked together, so it was impossible to pit them against each other. Clean, welcome to the
He
chat.
said
We're talking
fear.
about
That's
Pastor
good.
David uh Manning calling out the Democratic Party during his sermon. He said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Take a listen.
Raise children. You can't raise
Agree,
children
bro.
with tits. You got to have balls. You got to
Yeah,
have a
fact.
man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children ought to be executed. You have a responsibility before God. And we don't want to hear that. Women's right. No. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet.
Mm,
The other thing is this, is that when that boy Mondami came on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim.
damn.
He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and they tell him to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough.
All right, Twitch, I apologize. I cannot see none of y'all comments on Twitch. So if you're reacting, I apologize. I can't see it. Something's going on with my chat. But discussions with Dee Dee Parker. All right, what up, Clean? Welcome to the chat. What are your
What
thoughts
up?
on what this man had to say?
Nah,
You still there, Clean?
yeah,
Okay, you were
can you
spinning
hear
for a
me?
second. I can. We can hear you
Okay.
now.
No, I was saying, so like it he does have a point in a sense to where it's like, okay, you remember the election 2024. You see the DNC conventions, it's like a bunch of like feminine gay dudes, lesbians with blue hair.
But are we
You got
blaming a
they
party for that though, or is
Yeah,
that not
well,
already
check.
started?
Well, no. What I'm saying
Hold on,
is,
say that again. Hold on, say that part again, DD. What was the question?
I said, are we blaming a party for that, or was that not already part of the system? And
No,
I'm
yeah, we
bringing it back
definitely
to
blaming the party.
what you
The
said,
party
ethnic
brought that.
slavery. I,
Oh,
I
that
have to bring
party
it back to
introduced all
slavery.
that.
yeah. I mean,
Which
well,
party?
that's the party.
The
That's the
Democratic
party
Party.
that's the party that embraced it,
Right.
so that they could capitalize off of the voting numbers. So what happened is, and a lot of people wonder why so many people swayed to the other side during the election. And I
Mm.
think that's why a lot of like,
Ooh.
and I'll just speak for like straight masculine men. A lot of straight masculine men, they didn't identify with that party. They didn't see themselves in that
Yeah.
party. You know what I'm saying? They saw a lifestyle that they kind of want to distance themselves from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people swayed the other way. Now, what y'all was talking about, what he was talking about, or what y'all was talking about the whole single mother thing, like So I'm a single parent, I'm a single father. I'm raising my kid, and I could say that in a sense, I agree with what Harlem Nights is saying and what Hefe is saying, but I think it's the opposite. It is as far as it's not women, mothers being too soft. It's actually now they're too hard.
Right.
They're aggressive.
Exactly.
And what happens is it does damage, especially like young black men, like growing
Yes.
growing up your whole life being yelled at,
By
hit
yeah.
by, and
Woman.
disciplined by women.
Mm-hmm.
You grow up and now you spent a whole life dealing with female leadership and
Right.
discipline. So
Yeah.
what happens is you get out here and now there's a disconnect because a lot of women want to be provided for and led, but the men are like, shit, you lead, you know what I'm saying? And I think the issue
That is
is
absolutely true. I agree with you 100%.
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, yeah. So I think the issue is like, and see, like how with my son, it's different. Like he'll grow up not being used to female leadership. He's gonna be used to a man leading him, leading the household. And so that type of behavior from a woman will actually be foreign to him
Hmm.
versus the norm. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I see what the dude was saying as far as like making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our boys. Because yeah, this is the party that said, you know what? We see America going liberal, at least the major cities, like like middle America is always going to be Christian, like
Right.
straight. But Miami, New York, L.A., Chicago, these are Atlanta. These are liberal cities, and the Dems they leaned on that and said, well, you know what, we're gonna lean all the way, and we're gonna affirm a lot of this, you know. Trans agendas and all they leaned into it, and now that you've lost a large part of your supporters who grew up in Democrat households, because now they like, yo, I don't see myself in the Democratic Party. I don't identify with that. I'm a strong masculine man that work hard and earn my bread. I don't identify with this lesbian with blue hair talking about pro-trans, and they got the Planned Parenthood trucks outside of the outside of the convention. Like literally, they giving free abortions in the trucks outside of the Democratic conventions. Like I just think that I see his point. I see what he mean. Yeah, his delivery was wild with it. But like I always told you about the Kevin Samuels thing, sometimes a wild delivery is necessary.
But
It,
he's
I
the
feel
Hey,
like it
center.
hey
does wake
man,
people up.
here we go again
Did
with this
you? Did
dude.
you?
Uh,
Hey, Clink Clink.
say
Clink
yeah,
Clink.
what's
Did
up,
you
bro?
agree? Do you agree with the part where when he said women can't raise children? Were you agreeing with that when he said that?
Yeah, yeah, I agree
Okay.
with I agree with it in
Okay.
the sense of
Mhm.
like I think there are success stories, but kind of like what you mentioned, for every one success story, it's like a person who get paralyzed from the waist down, right? Like
Man.
every once in a while, a person that happens to a person, and then they go to the Special Olympics, they win gold medals, they start companies that help other paraplegics. But the truth is, the majority of them get depressed, get
Yeah.
strung out on drugs.
Yeah.
Like
So
you know what I'm saying?
I,
Like
I
like
And
feel
I
what
think
so.
y'all
that is,
saying. Like
and
I
I think
feel what
it's
y'all saying,
important to
but
say that it's
I
not
feel what
one
y'all
way to
saying,
look
but
at
but
these
there
things
are
all the
there
time.
are
Yeah.
people there are a lot of people raised by
Mhm.
both parents who had equal access to both parents that still grew up and
God.
went to prison. There are
Yeah, but it's
people.
less.
So what does that
But it's
have to do
I
less.
with
mean,
anything, though? So are we
that's all
advocating single
subjective.
parents? So are
That's
we
all
advocating for
subjective.
single parents?
I'm
Are we
not
advocating?
advocating.
So it
I'm not
doesn't matter
advocating.
about how, if it ended bad over there. What you're saying is,
I'm just
well,
what I'm saying is we
because it
can't
could still end
generalize.
bad.
What
Yes,
I'm
we
saying
can
is you
because the
can't.
numbers reflect it. We can't
No, I don't
generalize.
agree with that.
It doesn't matter if you agree.
I
If you
don't
got a
agree with
bunch,
that.
if 80% of the if 80% of the men in jail were raised by single moms, it doesn't matter that you don't agree.
Just because
That's
they
the
was raised by
reality.
single moms don't mean that they didn't
No,
have
it's
their
not
fathers in their
sense.
life.
No, Well, listen, we know. Well, unfortunately, in our community, and I'm not proud to say this, but it's the majority for a long time, or at least since the '80s or the '70s, a lot of our black fathers weren't involved. So we can't act like that don't exist.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's the reason why I keep telling y'all we gotta stop generalizing. Every situation is different. You speak to the situation at hand, not to a whole group of people, because
This woman
our
talk.
world is we live in a whole melting pot world at this point. Everybody's different. So it's easy to sit
Exactly.
here on here when, especially when you're not walking in those shoes, it's easy to sit on the other side of somebody else's life and say, well, if you had a did this, if it had been that way, then your life would be better. You wouldn't have did that. When that may not have necessarily been the hand that person was dealt.
Oh God! See, this
And
is
we
the
sit
reason
here
why
and
I don't believe we need women as leaders because based on you, they
That's
nothing gonna ever
right.
get accomplished.
God, if we
No, I'm
didn't
just
have if
saying.
we didn't have women as leaders, half of the shit we got going on in this world, we wouldn't have.
What leadership do we gotta? What are you
I'm just
talking about?
saying, who's raising the typical?
Hold on
Who's
before y'all go there. Hold on. We got comments. Joey K said, so if you're not politically correct, then you shouldn't have a right to vote. There are no Republicans that live non-traditional lives. He said, hey, it is what it is. We have little control over the hands that they are dealt. You still have to play the game and do your best.
I think it's really, I
Um,
it's
really
all
think it's
about the
very
hand you
foolish
dealt.
when you say. I just think it's foolish when people say, "Hey, listen, we're looking at the numbers, and 80% of the kids that go to jail are higher likelihood when they're raised by a mother or a single mother or a single parent, right?" And then they say, "Well," and the response is, "Well, some people, some people that was raised in two-parent households still end up in jail too. What does that have to do with anything? Like, what is that? That's not the point. The majority
Because
of them are not bad."
you canceling out a whole group of people and then blaming a single mother for being a single mother like she chose that life. That's just crazy to sit up and say, well, the whole problem with society today is single mothers. Why are there single mothers? Why are there single fathers? That means that somebody dropped the
All right,
ball.
new folks, welcome to Discussions with Dee Dee Parker. We're talking about Pastor James David Manning calling out the Democratic Party during a sermon. Said, I'm tired of the Democratic Party making bees out of our women and peas out of our men. Take a listen. And we'll
Enough of it. The man needs to stand up and be a man.
okay, that
Sick.
was why he
A
said
woman
peas.
can't raise children. You
Come on
can't
back,
raise
SJ.
children with tits. You gotta have balls. You gotta have a man. And for a man to not take responsibility to raise his children ought to be executed. And we don't want to hear that. Women's rights. No, dude. We got the sickest, poorest, economically deficient people on the planet. The other thing is this: is that when that boy Mondami came out on the scene, this nigga is a Muslim. He is a jihadist, if you will, intifada, if you must, Hamas supporting anti-Jesus Muslim. And niggas are talking about he got a good program. I don't give a damn how good his program is. He's a Muslim and Jesus is Lord. And I'm voting for him and I ain't tell nobody else to vote for him. The hell's wrong with you? I'm tired of the Democrat Party making bitches out of our women and pussies out of our men. I'm tired of it. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of it.
it's
Man
the
needs to
language for
stand up
me,
and be a
Cher.
man.
It's the language for me, Cher. I don't think a pastor should be talking like that. I'm just saying. But it does
Agree with
go back to
that.
what you were saying, how, sometimes the message doesn't need to be sugarcoated. Sometimes the message needs to be straight with no chaser. But Joe Tate said, basically, this pastor has taken Black societal issues and publicized them. This is not a new discussion. It's just heavily emotional. And he said this is not a political issue. Pete Cam Brown said of this all of this from the pulpit. Pete Cam Brown, all he was preaching on the pulpit, talking like this. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get Harlem Nights back on here because y'all were having a good discussion. Fa. I don't. Do you remember where we left off at?
Yeah, I think it's important to say that me and Clean both agree that women, when he said women can't raise children, we wasn't saying it in a literal sense, right? And I think I need to make a clarity because I think, and women tend to do this, they personalize things. But maybe I wasn't clear enough in when I was explaining myself. I'm not blaming individual single mothers, right? Like I'm not blaming individual single mothers. That's not what I'm doing. I'm blaming single mother culture, like as a whole, not anybody individual. And that's when I noticed because she keeps making examples about her and the people she knows and her family. And it's like, no, I'm not necessarily saying you or any individual single mother failed or they whatever. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is men, we look at a problem, we look at stats, statistics, and
He's
data.
back on here.
Right. I hope you heard what I said. I said, well, I'll reiterate it. I didn't. I wanted to make it clear. Me and Clean both agree that women can't raise children in the context of what he was saying in that statement, not literally. Um, and I think that I may have not made this clear, but I want to make it clear. I'm not blaming single mothers individually. Like this single mother failed. This single mother failed. That's not what I'm saying. I am blaming single mother culture as a whole. And I'm saying we need to eliminate it. We see that it's a issue and we need to eliminate it, not necessarily this particular single mother, or that particular single mother. I want to eliminate single mother, period. And so when I hear you, oh, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say to that point, and to what Harlem Nice was saying. What I'm saying is this: if I manufacture cars and 80% of the cars I make break down the first month you buy them and they pieces of crap, but
Hmm.
20% of them, 20% of them you don't have no problems, they cool. Am I a good car manufacturer?
No.
No, you know what I'm saying.
And that's how we look at. That's why we have to generalize.
So that's what we saying. That's yeah, exactly, and that's why I'm saying if we looking at a formula that by and large doesn't work,
There you
we
go.
gotta fix it. Not there are special cases,
So
but
let me respond.
what I'm
Let me
saying is
respond
by
to
and
that.
large, and one more thing is another thing is the problem is the relationships. Like I said, when I grew up. I didn't. A lot of the men that were absent, they were villainized by the women that were present. It wasn't until I grew up and learned these dudes tried to be around, but it was emotions, relationship situations, all of that that split the families. It wasn't just dudes being pieces of trash saying, "I don't want my family, I'm gone." A lot of times, these dudes tried to be around. They tried, you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is we got to fix the family dynamic and
So
erase the
can I
single
respond?
parenthood.
I'm not
Yeah.
disagreeing with you. I'm not disagreeing with you guys that single parenting is not a good thing. Okay, I'm not advocating for single parenting. I'm not saying a child. I'm saying a child needs both. A child needs both parents because the child is attached to both parents. The child came from both parents, so yes, the child needs both parents. However, on a case by case basis, like I said, you got to take the resources you're given and you got to make things happen. You got to make it work. You can't be sitting around saying, "Well, what am I supposed to do now that I'm a single parent?" The hell, then nothing gets done. We got to still do it. So
I'm not talking
the
about after you're a single
hold on,
parent.
let
We're
me
talking
finish.
about before.
Hold on, let me finish because there is nothing that guarantees whether
Oh
that's
God.
another thing that you say a lot that is not correct. There is nothing that guarantees you not becoming a single parent. There's absolutely nothing in society that guarantee I don't marriage you could parents used to stand at the altar with their kids and pistols and make the kids get
Make it get
married,
married.
and
Yep.
it would be a horrible situation for the children that was born into the situation. I'm saying on case by case basis, we have to deal with our issues and we have to heal it. So how do we fix single parenting? Be present, communicate. Do what you're supposed to do. Be where you're
No,
supposed to be
stop,
when you're
stop
supposed to be
becoming a
at.
single.
Marriage culture, marry
Right,
before you carry,
right.
and
That
reinstilling God
it's
in
sad
our
though.
community. Once we got rid of God and said that, hey, life is what you make it, be what you want to
I,
be. There's no standards.
Hold on. If
Once
you,
we eliminated it, everything became like a free for all. But
it's a
there used
case
to
by
be
and
case.
you
standards.
said,
But
and you
It's a
said
it's
case
all
case
by
that.
by
It's
case.
case.
funny
You
how
It's
you
can't
case
said
by
say
all
case.
that.
that
But
to
you
still
gotta
say
you gotta do the thing that gives you the best chance.
it's
Nothing's guaranteed in
amazing.
life, but you can do
Right.
Clean,
the things
clean,
that give
clean,
you the
clean.
best
Hold on.
chance.
You just clean, clean. You just said
You
marriage
said all
before.
that to
Hold
still
on.
say to be a
Clean,
baby
clean.
mama. That's why we can't listen to women, y'all.
Clean,
And
clean.
she
You
said
just
all that to
said.
That's
still
right.
say you can be a baby mama.
Hold
We just
on.
got to figure it
That's not
out
what
on a
I'm
case by
saying. Now you
case.
putting words in my mouth. That's not what I said. Clean, clean. You just said that when you put God first and marriage before carriage. Okay, I did that, honey. I did that.
Well,
I
no,
Yeah,
was
you ain't.
hold
but
on,
your
hold
case
on.
is not.
Before y'all jump in,
Everything is
because
so
hold
anecdotal,
on.
man.
Before
Hold
y'all
on.
jump
Let her
in,
finish.
I told you 100 times, I grew up in ministry. I grew up in church. Me and my first husband, we courted in church. We were taught by the church how to date. We were taught no sex before marriage. We were taught how to go on dates. We
You
did
didn't learn
all of
much.
that. That man had, you don't know what I learned. He had a
I
nervous
can tell by
breakdown.
what you saying.
He
No,
had a nervous breakdown. The man had a mental, he had a mental, that's why I'm telling you, it is case by case. You can't say that for every single situation. You think standing at the altar, I said, oh, this man is gonna have a
so,
mental
so you're saying that
episode.
to say you don't have to get
And
married to have
that
children?
I'm saying marriage does not solidify you.
But
I'm
why
not
are you
saying
saying
that.
that? Though? But why are
Nothing
you
in
saying
life
that?
solidifies
That's my
Nothing. We're
point.
anything. You
So
talking.
have
y'all
to
gotta
So why
just
stop
do.
telling people, stop telling women these lies. That is
Hold
a
on, y'all.
lie.
we
Hold on.
telling
We
That
got
women
is a
time.
lies to
lie to
marry before
women.
they carry?
Hold on.
You
That's a
We
telling
got
us a
lie.
time.
lie?
Mama said, "How do you eliminate men need to stop making babies as well as
There
women?"
you go.
And she said, "I don't believe a lot of times they tried. I believe some may have tried, but not the majority."
I think Kling Kling made that clear. I think that men do need to have better discipline and put God more into the in our community
Yep.
where men
I'm not
wouldn't be
against
so
that.
No, my
promiscuous.
son.
I'm
Hold
not
on,
against
so
that at all.
Open
promiscuous,
it.
right? But you can't say I agree you should
I'm on
marry
the
before you
phone.
carry, but then go on to start explaining how you can be a baby mama and it's a case by
It's
case and
on.
you got to figure it
It
out.
is
No,
case by
stop.
case. So what?
And people that get married before they carry don't still mean they won't divorce. That is so. I'm not trying to be insulting, but that is so to me unintelligent to
It's
say.
it's
Don't
judgmental
worry
to say
about
that
the.
you have to be married to have a baby. It's judgmental to
I'm
say that
fine
you
with being.
can't.
Yeah, I'm okay with being
That's
judgmental.
very
My God
well,
is
you
That's what
know.
judgmental.
we need
My
to
God is
judge
judgmental.
more.
Yeah, my
The
God is
Bible says,
judgmental.
"Judge not, lest ye be judged."
No, and yeah,
Yeah, and so
God
judge me
told you
too.
right. What are you talking about?
Judge me
And
too.
God told you, and
From
God
the
told you don't have a baby until you get married.
yo. I'm
So you
speaking
calling
from
God
And I
the.
did
judgmental?
that. No, I did
I'm
that.
No,
I'm
no, we're not
speaking from
talking
the.
about you. This
I'm
conversation
just
ain't about
saying.
you.
I'm saying there are people who have done that. There are
So
people who
because
have
they
done the
done that,
work.
then what? So then what? So
Life
because it didn't work
happens.
out, so we should throw it away. So
I'm
because
No,
some
I'm not
people did and
saying.
it
speaking.
didn't work,
Did
so
I
why
say
you
throw it
keep?
away? Did anybody on this
No,
phone hear
I'm
me say
trying to
throw it
figure
away?
out what's the purpose of you keep reiterating to the
Because
people
you are
that
telling
you can
women.
get married
Because
and it
you
can
are
still
telling
end in divorce.
women.
So what?
Because
That
you're
means
telling
what?
women. Because you're telling. You're what. This is my problem with society. Is that
Mhm.
we train women to be wives. We train
No, we
women to
don't.
be.
No, we don't.
Listen, let me make my
That's
point because I'm a woman. So I know the message growing up as a child, what I received as a woman. When a
so you
woman
as well.
turns
Okay. Well,
when a woman turns a certain age, she is expected in two things: a baby and marriage. Stop me when I start lying, Dee Dee, because you're a woman too. When a woman turns a certain age, she is expected two things. When them grandbabies coming, when are you getting married? If you're dating somebody, that is what you when y'all set a date, the whole family gathers around for pictures and oh they fiance. I'm not against any of that. I'm for all of that. But I'm saying the same energy that we put into training women, buying women baby dolls at 3 years old, making her get a baby and give the baby a bottle and feed the baby and teaching a 3 year old how to be a mother. The same energy that we put into women becoming wives and mothers, we need to teach men to be husbands and to be fathers. That
Well,
is the problem in
none of
society.
us is disagreeing with you on that one.
But
Nobody
that's
disagreeing
the
with you on
problem
that
that
one.
we have. That is the problem that we have not
Yeah, mom,
uncovered, and we keep
we
blaming.
did. No, we did
No,
uncover it.
we
Stop
ain't talking.
having
What I just said,
babies
we
and
ain't talking
before you
about
get
one
married.
time.
No, what we're saying is we acknowledge, we both agree on what you just said. We all agree on what you just said. We have uncovered the problem. You just don't agree with it. We're saying the problem is baby mama culture.
No,
We
yeah,
But
I
believe that
agree with
that's
it's
the
it.
not the
problem.
marriage. Is
And
not the
Mama,
marriage
No, no,
before
no,
the
no.
carriage. That's not
Harlem
the
Mama said,
Nights.
problem.
hold on.
Harlem
Mama
Nights.
said,
This.
stop,
Oh
stop blaming baby mama culture because men are making
Yeah, men
babies.
are causing
Say
it.
men, say men stop being baby daddy culture as well.
Right. It's
no,
both
listen.
Yeah,
sides.
that's a
Listen.
fair point.
I'm not. I'm coming from the perspective of a baby.
You cut off clean clean.
It's not like I'm some married dude that's judging. But what I'm saying is, yeah, judge me too. We need to
Yeah,
judge more. Like
yeah.
we're trying to create a culture of everything's okay and everybody should understand everything. No,
Because
we do need to.
circumstances.
Yeah, circle
Cut off again, clean clean.
standard that people gotta live by. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
just
Like
saying there
there
are
needs
certain
to be
circumstances that you
standards.
don't have control
We don't
over.
care
There,
about, and we don't
if you don't
care.
have to care, you still got to live. You have to
No,
endure
they
it though.
don't. No, they
Whether
don't.
you
The
care
pastor
or
said they
not, you
should
still
die.
are living with your brother who's dealing with mental issues that may have
No,
been
okay,
undiagnosed.
we're not talking about outliers. We're not talking about people that literally mentally diagnosed with things
But
or
do
stuff
you
like
know
that.
how
We're
many
not talking
people?
about the.
But
This
do
is
you know
what
how many
normal
people you
functioning
walk
people.
past? Do you know how many people are not normal functioning that we treat
I don't
like
know. I
normal
don't.
functioning every day? That's the
Do
problem.
you know? Do you know how many?
I can guarantee you at least 2 out of 3 people got some mental issues that have been undiagnosed. I
Do
At
you
will
Harlem,
think
at Harlem Nights,
I will say that.
you know how many people that are
66%?
mentally, you know how many people
66%.
I
that
will
are
say that.
mentally.
After COVID, we
No, no,
all
no.
are
Yeah,
But listen,
after COVID, we all got PTSD.
do you know how many people that are
You better
mentally
speak for
able?
yourself.
That you know how many people
I
that
ain't got no
are
PT.
mentally able
You are
that
the
just
one
make
out of the
bad
3.
decisions?
Yes, I do. I do. And I also know about people making bad decisions that may have cost them mental issues. Drug usage is one of the biggest pipelines to mental illness. And it's so common.
Agree with that. But
Oh,
It's
and
so
I think
common.
that
shout out
that's
to
not
my
what we're
fellas
talking
because
about though.
today is the
If we're talking about
mental
society in a
awareness month.
general, if we're
So
talking
big
about,
shout
if
out
we're
to the
going to
fellas.
generalize society, we need to address everything that society is dealing with. You can't cancel out things that society is dealing with and just bring it all down to single mothers,
I think that we can.
single baby mama
I'm not
I
bringing
culture.
it
think
to single mothers. I'm bringing
right.
it to
But I
broken
think
I'm
families.
just saying,
right.
broken
But
families are
y'all keep
caused.
we keep because he made 2 points in this video. He did say that women can't be whatever mothers, and he did say that men
Raise children.
who don't raise their children should be executed. So
Agree.
he's holding women and
Both are
men
account. I
both
agree.
accountable.
Accountable
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
I don't believe in the execution part,
but if
but
you
I
know,
Yeah,
but if you
me
definitely
neither.
notice, but did you notice? This is what I noticed. Do you notice that both men on here agree with the criticism that he placed on men? But when you apply criticism to women, we just was going back and forth for an hour because of the criticism you didn't like about that he put on women. Nobody was over here. None of the men was over here arguing that we shouldn't be executed if we don't take care of our children. You notice that?
But it's
Not.
not.
We
But
all
it's
just agreed. We just all agreed,
But
right?
it's not. It's not the criticism. I don't feel that he criticized women. I feel like he held both accountable. I'm not saying. I don't feel
I
like
said
in his statement.
criticism. He's that,
And
but
I
that's
didn't
the.
hear
What does
criticism.
that
I
have to
didn't
do
hear.
with you? Well, whatever word you don't like, it doesn't matter. We're
I'm
talking
just
about
saying.
he
I didn't hear
spoke on men, he
criticism.
spoke on women,
He spoke
and none
on
of us.
both.
He spoke. I just what I
Yeah, he
said. He
spoke on
spoke
both.
on men. He spoke
Right.
on women. All of the men disagreed. all of the women, not all, but just I'm saying, often in these situations, it be the women arguing about how they don't like the criticism
I
or
didn't.
whatever's being placed on them. This is why we've been talking for an hour.
But this is
Because
not about a
if they
like.
would
You
have
don't
This is
need
said
to
about
say.
something,
agree. I don't feel like that is true. I don't agree with that. I didn't say I don't like it. I don't agree with the fact that a woman can't raise a child
Yeah.
because nine out of the 10 children, nine
right?
out of 10 adults you see were probably raised by single
Okay.
women.
You're in the black community, right?
Yes. So
Yeah,
how
I
can we
was.
say, and we have a lot of college
And
graduates.
we have way more that's messed up.
I don't believe that. I
It,
believe we
well, look at the numbers.
sensationalize.
No, look at the
I believe
numbers.
we sensationalize what's messed up and we
You think that,
pinpoint
hold on, you think
what's
black
messed
people are
up.
thriving? You
I
think we're a
feel like
thriving community?
hell yeah.
Oh boy. You
Hell
think
yeah.
black people is a thriving community? Really?
There's a huge part of black America that is thriving big time right now.
I didn't ask you that. Do you think out of 100% of black people, do you think that we're a thriving community?
I think out of 100% of black people, I would say at least 65% of us, yes, are
No,
thriving.
that's not true.
I
This is not
believe it. I believe it
true.
is. Even those living in the ghetto, hell, they not paying. Even those living in the
How are
hood,
you
living on
thriving
public
in the
But the
ghetto?
assistance.
economic numbers don't
How are
support
you
that.
right? How are you thriving
I
in the
don't. I
ghetto?
don't believe all the economic numbers are reported.
Hold on. Mama
Okay,
said
well
the
then it don't matter. Then nothing can be proven to you.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
Everything
yeah.
no.
just
I
Hold
appears
don't
on,
through
y'all.
believe it.
emotions.
I
Hold on,
Everything
don't
just
y'all.
believe
appears.
that.
Hold on, y'all. Mama said the first step is tell the boys don't beg no babies. No babies before marriage. Get married and have a wife and don't
No, the
be a
first, but
man
boys
whore.
don't. Baby, men don't stop trying to put it on men. Men don't have babies. When women have babies, yeah, men shouldn't be making. Men, it's not about making babies. Both of them made the baby. Men don't make the baby. Women and men make the baby, right?
Right.
So I'm not trying to eliminate the accountability that men need to
Come
have better, what I call D discipline, and stop being so promiscuous and so on and so forth. I agree with that. We got to do better with that. We need to be more responsible with who we put our junk into and how we don't and protecting ourselves as far as contraceptive rubbers and stuff. I agree with that, and we do need to do better with
come
that.
on, man.
But stop acting like men
Lock that
don't
door.
make babies. Men and women make babies. Okay,
Mama said men should be responsible too,
I
and she
agree.
said
I
I
agree.
don't agree that men should be executed. Yeah, I don't agree with
I
that
don't
part either.
think that he was. I want y'all to know he wasn't being literal, y'all. The man wasn't being literal. He was using what they call drastic language. He was just trying to prove a point. He did not mean that women can't raise children. He don't mean that literally. He doesn't mean it
I think his
literally.
statement wasn't complete. I feel like his statement wasn't just that women can't raise children. I think it was this should be done together and
Yeah.
That's what he was saying.
to call awareness to the audience to say, hey, you guys need to stand up and be accountable. The delivery that he gave, I don't necessarily agree with it, but he know who he's speaking to. He know the audience he's entertaining, so he's entertaining that
Mm,
audience. But in reality, I
I
feel
don't think
like
it's entertaining, but go ahead.
I mean, the words he using, you can't raise
Preaching.
kids with with tits. I mean, I'm sure he wanted a reaction when he said that. You get on the microphone, you gonna say that you because you want a reaction. But I mean, I understand where,
That's how
like I
you go
said
viral.
earlier, right? That's what I
Yeah.
said earlier. He trying to go
Yeah.
viral,
And
but
I
I
don't
understand.
necessarily think I agree with, because how can we blame a party for turning? I guess my question to you, man, is
Yeah.
how did the Democratic Party turn women into bees? And how
I'm gonna
we
tell
already
you
talked
how.
about
I'm gonna tell you
the
how. It's
LBGTQ.
because
Enabling.
they let me tell you how they did. They turned them into bees and ghetto trash because and that's what they think of you. That's the reason why they don't take you seriously in these political environments when you go into these presidential campaigns and runs instead of instead of speaking on things that actually hold to an educated black woman, what they do is go put Gorilla and Mega up there and have them twerking, right? Because and that's how they appeal to you.
That
So
was
what they're
crazy.
saying. So what they're saying is we don't actually think you are intelligent enough to come here and have an intellectual conversation about what you guys are really looking for as a people or as women. No, we know what appeals to you. We know what appeals to you. We're gonna put Megan up there twerking. We're gonna put
Quavo.
Gorilla up there. We're gonna put Quavo because we know that's what we know you guys like. So that's how a Democratic Party. I'm not mad at the Democratic Party to a certain degree because I'm more mad at us, at black people. Well, I'm not a Democrat, but I'm more mad at black people that they accepted that. Or they thought that was cool. Or they thought that was cool. They think it's cool when Hillary Clinton goes on her a presidential campaign and she say, "I always keep hot sauce in my purse," because she know that black people are entertained. That appeals to them. You see what I'm saying? They ain't coming in there talking about no economics and economy
Yeah,
and
damn.
this and that and that.
Yeah,
And they're
damn.
not talking about generational
Good boy.
wealth. They're gonna say things that they know that they're going to show you how they think of you, and the way you respond is how they continue to do. This is why every
It's
time they
classism.
do something, no, well, whatever. It's
It is.
what
It's
I know is
classism.
that
Down, down,
I
that's
down,
how
think
down.
it's about the
but that's
rain.
how the party view.
I
That's
think
how
it's
a
about the
party
rain.
can be the originators, or be at least blamed for a lot of stuff. Well, the Democratic Party is the party of the alphabet people. They're the ones that got all that stuff passed, and they lost a lot of heterosexual males when they did that. Black men are waking up because they not agreeing with that, and they not going to align themselves with that. I mean, a lot of them aren't. You know what I'm saying?
And
They just not.
you know what's messed up. I'm gonna say this. A lot of people get mad when I say this. The one president that they chose to use to amplify the community and build the community
About it. How about it?
was
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama.
Yep.
And I said a
The
hundred
ultimate
times,
enabler.
no, nobody. But see, that's what the Democrat. This is the reason why I don't identify as a Democrat, because people feel like the class that you live in should define your democratic choice. That's not necessarily the truth, because I feel like Democrats really hold black people back. I feel like with all of the I'm not gonna say it's not needed. I'm not gonna say like food stamps and all that stuff. You know, where would a lot of people be without those resources? But at the same time, like I get that, but at the same time, those resources are meant to get you, it's meant to be a bridge to connect you from this level in your life until this level in your life. But what I find, and I'm speaking on my black people, I am a black person, so I have the
Hmm.
ability to speak.
Hmm.
We have a lot of black people that get caught up in this system, and oh, if I go work this many if I work this many hours, I'm gonna lose my benefits if I make this much money, so I'm just gonna hide out in the cut. I'll do hair at my house, I'll sell cakes, I'll do this, I'll do that, so that they can keep those government fundings and those government subsidies going and keep them, in their life. I get $600 worth of food stamps, and you selling food stamps, and you doing, and I get it because I done bought food stamps. I ain't even gonna sit on here in front. I'm just saying, when we use the system in a way that is not meant to be used, we're abusing the system, and then at the same time, the system that we're abusing, a lot of our people are victims, are falling victim to. So, there's a time when I started studying social work and sociology, I learned, wait a minute, some of this stuff I'm going to have to pull myself up out of. Some of this stuff I'm going to have to say, hey, you're not. And when I was married, I told my husband, we coming off of Section 8. We was on Section 8. The hell? People
Mm-hmm.
be talking about you can't be on Section 8 and be married. The lies you tell, yes, you can. If your income is under a certain level, you can. And I told my husband, we are not doing this. We will not be a married couple living on Section 8. That's not how we are supposed to be able to afford where we live. That is the natural way life is supposed to be. Because you got all these people in your business. They need to know everything but your blood type just to be able go to work. Go to work, save your money. Stop being in the club when you know you need to pay your rent. You don't need them new Jordans.
Hey,
The
that's
light bill is
100%
due.
something that
It's the
black.
responsibility.
I agree with everything you just said. Well, that might be. Well, no, I think I agree with a lot of stuff. We only disagree on baby mama stuff.
I'm a
I
single
think
It's
we
the
mom.
actually
baby
agree
mama.
on a lot
You
of
you
other stuff. But the baby
I
mama
don't
stuff,
know
I
who
think, is the
scorned.
only
I don't
area.
know what baby mama scorned you. One of them baby mamas got you hurt. They
Shame,
got you hurt
shame,
in your
shame,
soul.
shame, shame, guilt, insults, and it need to be right. The shame. Anytime you disagree, they're gonna shame you, guilt you, insult you, and it need to be right. I get it,
Hey
but listen.
You
man.
said that
Her ears are
What
It's
fucking
are
raining,
how
man.
many
intelligent. So
kids you
come on,
got,
don't do that.
FA? How many kids you
I
got,
got
It's
FA?
raining.
I got one on the way now, but I got so God willing, after this will be born, this will be my third.
Oh,
Oh, you and
congratulations.
wifey
Thank
having
you, thank
another
you.
one?
Hey,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Congratulations.
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 Thank you, bro. Thank you, thank you, thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you. And I'm
Mama
not
said, I'm gonna say this, and you guys can get your final thoughts together because we've been on here for a minute. She said, I'm gonna say this: the Jays are the biggest users of the system. We always accuse Black people of the Jays being.
right. I'm just not. that may be true, but I'm just not interested. I don't care about other people. I don't care about their discretions or their lack of whatever. I just want to talk about holding us as a community accountable and working on us. I don't care that white people are on the. Thank you, mom. I don't care about that more white people use food stamps. I don't care that more white people are on government assistance. I don't care. All I care about is how we need to do better as a people. We need to get better as a people. We need to stop being so lazy. We need to
Right.
stop being so.
That's
We need to
the
stop being so rude, so nasty.
to each
No customer
other.
service. No
To each
customer
other.
service. We got no pride in our work. It was a time where you had pride. If you was providing a service, you really took pride in the service you were providing. You took that extra mile. We got no hard work ethic. We do everything half-assed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not being literal, y'all. I'm
No, that's
You speaking
generalizing.
it is
facts.
what it
I'm
is.
generalizing. I'm generalizing. I'm saying
I say that
I
all
see
day.
it every day. You go to the places where working, we got the worst customer service on the planet. You go
That's
Especially in
anywhere
Atlanta.
on the planet. You go anywhere
Especially
that's
in the
and
A.
there's
facts.
niggas in there working. I'm telling you, you're gonna
Yeah.
get attitude. Go to McDonald's
Mhm.
and your sandwich cold. They gonna be looking at you like you broke.
Yeah.
Like when I say, man, this not hot. Give me another one, man. Or can I have another one? Damn, it's only $1. I really like that's like the energy they give you. You know, like it's
But
we
it's
just need we need
that's a
to stop
cultural
talking about.
thing.
That's what I
That's
said.
a
We need to stop talking about everybody else.
we gotta stop that. That's a cultural
Everybody else
situation.
don't matter. It don't matter. We got listen. How about this? This is true, and I have kind of evolved to this point now. We got so much garbage that we got so much stuff that we need to clean house, and we got so much stuff we need to get through within our own house before we even start talking about anything else.
Uh-uh.
That's how I feel now.
Not where Carisha dropping songs talk about spend that ish. Spend
Come
that.
on,
Right.
I
man.
hate
And
that
we jamming it, ain't
record.
Yeah,
Oh my
we?
god, I hate that
And
record.
guess what? And guess what? I love the
yeah.
record.
We're gonna
Look,
I
I
I'm
want
not
to
gonna
see.
lie, man. I love the record. But you know what I wish? I wish we as people had the ability to separate
Yeah.
entertainment, viewing
Yeah.
something as simply entertainment and not allowing that to infiltrate into your actual core and morality system.
Right.
No, we're not really looking for a scammer. Okay, I mean, well, you shouldn't be literally looking for a scam. It should be funny. Like
Right.
entertainment. Oh, that's funny. Not, oh, I'm gonna go home. I
It's
really want.
comedy.
I need. I don't see nobody with no go yard bags. These niggas ain't got. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They eat this shit up. They
Right.
really eat it up. It's like,
Right.
no, look at it as a movie. Look at it as entertainment. That's it.
Right.
And then and enjoy it. Oh, that was fun. And get back to real business. Oh no, nigga, we ain't doing that because that's
But
what other cultures do.
100%.
unfortunately,
That's what
FA,
other cultures do.
you have little girls that are looking up to this girl and they rapping all them
But
That's
lyrics
because
and
they
but
ain't
they
got
see,
no
ain't
that's the
daddy
talking about.
thing.
involved.
Let me tell
They ain't
you.
got no
It
daddy
and hold
involved.
on. That's the thing that I was gonna say is parent involvement. Me and
Yep.
Rashad had a conversation about that because he was talking about how damaging the music is, and I was like, yes, it's damaging, but what are your kids tuning into? Are you controlling what's coming through your children's? Because you have, like, I filtered everything. My child is 17 years old. I could turn her phone off right now. I can put adult stuff on her phone right now where she won't be able to access. And she's 17. Like, what are you allowing? What are you giving your children access to? What are you allowing to raise your children? Because that's what this stuff is actually doing, raising your children for you. And if all your children is walking around here listening to is Glorilla instead of listening to you, if you listen to my child, you'll hear my mouth coming out of my child to a certain degree. You feel what I'm saying? Both of my kids. If you sit down and talk to my kids, if you talk to me, you're gonna hear Shirley Ross all day long. Because yes, I did listen to a lot of different music, but my mom sat down, she talked to me. She took me to church, she put me in the Bible, she taught me how to be a productive member of society where I'm not just out here twerking and showing ass all the time. Now, don't get it twisted because I will twerk and show some ass on occasions. I'm just saying, on occasions.
All right, let's do some final thoughts. Who want to go first so we can wrap this up? We went long,
I
very
think
long today.
we lost FA.
Yeah, it's okay because we're about to come off
Let
anyway.
me. I'll go first because me and my son about to go to the beach real quick.
You on
Um,
vacation? Because I know you weren't in Georgia
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
going to no
Where
beach.
you
yeah.
at?
No, we out here. We in yeah, it is. We in St. Port Joe, Florida.
Oh,
It's
nice.
Okay.
it's our annual father son trip. We come with
Oh,
we
I love it.
Is
yeah,
that
every time
near?
he
Is
graduates.
that near Orlando? Is that anywhere near Orlando?
No, it's more near Panama City Beach.
Okay.
Okay.
It's like a 5 hour drive from Atlanta, and it's
Oh,
like
that's
a
not bad.
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a maybe 30 minutes from Panama City. It's a little quiet beach town, no tourism, only locals. It's dope. Like it we my coworker had recommended it and this is like become our little spot.
Okay, because we'll be in Orlando next week, so I'm trying to find a beach close by Orlando to
Oh,
take my daughter. We're
Orlando.
going. Yeah, we're going. We're going. I'm taking my daughter to Disney. We're going on our mother daughter trip.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, Disney
Yeah.
is fire.
Yeah.
All
Disney
right,
and Universal.
clean. Go ahead with
But
your
but
thing so we,
yeah.
we can hop off here. And then, Tang, you do
Yeah,
yours.
yeah. No, I'm just yeah, but all I'm saying is like, yeah, I think a lot of it is kind of based on our cultural norms. It's destructive, man. Like
Yeah.
we've I know, yeah, we've kind of boxed ourselves in. Like you talk about the Glorilla, and it's like, yeah, well, Glorilla wouldn't exist if we wasn't enabling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So. Um, They see
We
you, my man. They see you. Okay.
see you.
So,
Hey.
but
Somebody else trying to speak.
right. But
Hey.
yeah, like we enabled it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's like it's destructive. You can like, and you can say that about a lot of hip hop. But and I'm not saying all our music got to be all gospel or something. But at least there got to be something endearing about it,
Wait.
like a Jay-Z. He'll at least give you some financial literacy in the bars. He'll at least give you something. But just like the DNC convention with Meg was there. Did you see those people behind her when she was talking to the middle America voters that was behind her while she was
What they was looking at her
see
like she was crazy?
yeah, they was like, what is it? And that was kind of embarrassing. It was kind of like, dang, like look at how we look like to outsiders, like that looks kind of crazy, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I
But we
I
keep putting
think
it
that
up. We keep allowing them to put it up.
Yeah.
yeah. We gave it life. So all I'm saying is, man, like we gotta just tighten up on our culture, man, tighten up on judgment. And like I say, judgment, I'm coming from the perspective of a BD. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, judge me. I made mistakes. Judge me. I'm not trying to judge other people and not judge myself. But I'm saying give yourself nothing in life guarantees you anything, but at least give yourself the best chance to succeed. That's all I'm saying. At least give the community a better chance, man, so that we can thrive because we behind regardless of beliefs or whatever. The numbers say we are a very low part of the population, and a large part of our population is not winning.
Hmm.
So that's my final thought.
All right, Tan, what's your final? You guys have fun at the beach. Clean. Thank
Have
you so much,
fun.
All
boy.
right, y'all too. Have fun.
All
See
right.
y'all later.
All
All
right. Have a
right.
good
Peace.
day. All
I
right,
feel
Tang.
like his statement is what he's saying makes sense. I see where he's coming from. I'm not really feeling the sensational, way he's saying it. I know he gotta, reach his crowd and move in emotion, so he reaching his crowd. I get it. I do believe that women can raise children. I believe that women can do anything that we are given. If we're given the task, we can do it. I don't believe that anything. would be too much for us to deal with. You know what I'm saying? If we have to do it, we got to do it. So we do what we got to do. Especially as strong black women, we do what we got to do. We don't always want to be strong. You know, a lot of us would love to have men come in and allow us to be soft, but all of us was not given that opportunity. And I don't believe in judging people or calling them low fruit or whatever because
Not
they weren't
intelligent.
yeah, because they weren't given the same opportunity as other people were given. I've accomplished some things. Some of those opportunities I was given, some of those opportunities I had to go and create for myself. You know what I'm saying? But I don't believe I've seen a lot. I've seen people deal with a lot. And I feel like mental illness is one of the biggest issues in society. I feel like mental illness is a bigger issue than baby mama or baby daddy culture. I feel like mental illness can possibly be maybe the some of the cause of baby mama and baby daddy culture. Because if we had a handle on where we were mentally and emotionally, we would make better choices in choosing the other party to have or to marry or to have kids with. I do believe that marriage, before I do believe it or not, I believe in marriage before
Yeah.
carriage. I
Yeah.
believe in that. I was raised on that. I don't believe that it guarantees that you won't become a single parent. Because I've seen things happen, and I'll never sit and say, "Well, get married before you have a baby." No, I wouldn't say that. We have people who got raped and got pregnant, so
Great. Mm-hmm.
I'm just
They call
saying
it great.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot going on to just generalize a whole society of people. And yeah, we got the numbers, but the numbers ain't always right. Everybody don't report. Everybody, I feel like they sensationalize the numbers to make things look away. And
Yeah.
it's not always true. You got a lot of well-to-do black people. They don't want us to believe that, but you got a lot of well-to-do black people. Go drive out there in Stockbridge. Look at
Oh,
those houses
baby.
in
A
Stockbridge and see
Buckhead and
who living in
Roswell
them.
area. Okay.
I'm saying, go drive
Marietta.
around. Black people are doing real good in Atlanta and buying up properties in other states. So property is wealth, and it's a lot of black people on property. They may not want you to know it, but we don't. But that's my final thought. We can't judge each
A per-
person. You
right.
gotta allow for life to happen, and heal
All right.
heal based on that. So
My final thoughts are gonna be real quick. If you need two strand twists, go see my girl Harlem Nights here. Ah ha ha! You see it, you see it. Oh, I
they
did
look so
put
good.
they do, and I did give you credit on one of the posts with me and Morris Chestnut. They
Thank you
did
for
it
the
there.
thank you for the shout out.
Yes.
It turned out so cute.
Um. Second thought, it is Men's Mental Awareness Health Month. So big shout out to my
Okay.
fellas out there. How you feeling? I gotta ask, because your mental is everything. So
All right.
if you haven't reached out to a man this month or today, it is the first start kickoff to Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Reach out to a man, see how he's doing. Check on that man. All right, I'll talk to y'all later. We'll do it again
Love
tomorrow.
you.
All right, thank you, Harlem Nights.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.